Jason here. Today is May 20th, and this is your aftermarket update. So what I'd like to talk to you about in this video today is I want to talk to you about the OTG trade plan, talk to you about how it performed today. Also want to talk to you about deviating off the plan and how that can work to your advantage and how that could work to your disadvantage. I want to talk to you about the trade of the day, and then we're going to show you the video for the trade of the day. It was about 12 minutes long today. So we did end up the day here in a good way at the oil trading group, and I do want to spend a few minutes with you again, like I said, talking to you about the overall trading conditions here as well. All right, so let's take a look here at today's 1 minute chart. A couple of things that I want to draw your attention to. If you look here, and I'll zoom in on this, take a look down here at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Today, the average or the daily range for today was 94 ticks. The average daily range for the past 10 days, 191 ticks. And for the past 20 days, it was 187 ticks. The reason that that is important is because most traders find that when the range is expanding and when the market is continuing either up and expanding that range or continuing down to expand the range, there are more trading opportunities. The more narrow the range, the less trending opportunities that the market will provide to you, and which of course is more commonly referred to as choppy trading conditions. And that was indeed the case here on crude. We were looking for the market to move up either to this minor level down here or to this minor support level down below, and we achieved neither on the day. Really, again, with a 94 tick range from low to high, that is like I said, a very narrow range. When most of that range really occurred in the overnight session. We did get a little bit of range expansion right after the inventory report today, but if you'll notice, the high was made at 3:17 a.m. and the low was made down here at what time is that? That low was made at 1:45. So really the high and low were established until we got here right after the inventory report. We did push up off of that high for about 5 ticks, and then we expanded it one more time, another 14 ticks off of that high. So again, not much range expansion. Again, these types of days traditionally can be very difficult and very choppy, and so our trade plan allowed us to pick the right areas for us to be able to get into these trades today. So let's talk a little bit about that trade plan today. And again, if you are a follower of the work here at the Oil Trading Group, then you know that we have a trade plan, and you know that we have this software that we use to mark our charts up with. Okay, so again, first thing here this morning is we had a long right here out of your center point. We had a long here at 8:10 a.m. We ended up taking this in the trade room. It did end up getting you long right here at 73 and moved up to 82 for 9 ticks. On the chart here, it's going to show you show a loss here. I got to break even very quickly here this morning because we had a level here at 81. Let's take a look at your market maker levels here today. Again, this is a very good chart to see just how choppy the trading conditions were. If you take a look up here, right here was the time frame right there at the start of this candle was 8:10 to 8:15. We went right up into this 82 level, and again, remember, we were getting long down here off of your 8:10 a.m. Signal long. We hit this daily structure signal here, and immediately once we hit that, we began to fail. We moved the trail stop to break even very quickly. However, for the sake of this discussion and for the sake of using the trade plan as an illustration, I'm going to go ahead and let this take me out for the loss here. But understand, in the trade room today, used my discretion, I got quickly out at break even. Yesterday, if you were in the trade room with us yesterday, and I'm going to follow up with the video for yesterday's trading, if you were in the trade room yesterday, I made a couple of deviations that actually didn't work out for me. So again, it can be a double-edged sword, but here in this particular case, it did work out. Now, you had a short area right here, but we didn't trigger this short Again, it didn't meet our criteria to get short, so there was no entry there. We had a long back in this area right here. You had a long up in this area here. Ended up taking that. And then, again, as you go through the day, our big OTG trade of the day was this short right here at 62. It was only 60 ticks was the total on that particular, on the OTG trade of the day. In fact, we finished up today with a couple of the small winners that we had. We finished up 97 total ticks on the day, but this was the big winner of the day, if you will, at 60 ticks, and that's this trade here. And I will let you see that OTG trade of the day video. What I'm going to do right now, and again, just keep in mind here, I should go back and do this for you. This long here was at 8:34 a.m., and you can see that's on your trade plan right there, 8:34 a.m. long. You had followed up here with 8:38 a.m., and that is here again. This chart is pre-marked for us here so that we can get a feel, and for the sake of the of brevity for these videos. All right, so these were the trades. This was the trade plan, and I'm going to go ahead and click performance here. Whoops, let me do something here really quickly. This, actually, sorry, I have this arrow in the wrong spot. This arrow should be right here on this bar. So we'll re-click that, and that brings you up here to $970 or 97 ticks. Now, you're going to say to yourself, well, I thought you didn't take this trade and that trade. It ended up being 97 ticks, and I'm going to show you how it's a little bit different. I'm going to show you how it's a bit different here. Whoops. All right, so first trade of the day here. Again, this is the one that I took at break even. This would have had you 56 ticks on 4 contracts. That's an average loss of 14 ticks a contract. Again, I went to break even very quickly for the reason that I showed you. You had another log here that ended up coming up to the break even number, then coming back and taking you out of break even, so there was nothing there. This trade wasn't there wasn't a valid trade here. And again, the reason this wasn't valid in this area here is it didn't break here, and we had put a stop on. Oh, actually, you know what I did? I'm sorry. I did take this trade in the room at 68 short, and then I quickly got out at break even. I did take this trade here again, and one more deviation off the plan. Once we were around the rotation around this level, we were this close to the inventory report. If you were in the room, you do recall that I did take this on the break, and I did end up getting out at break even. All right, so the big trade here was after the inventory report. Again, this is going to be the trade of the day video, and again, it's where I deviated just a little bit off of this plan. I got in short here at 62. The first target was taken out at 15 ticks. You're going to see here that I took mine off at 10 ticks because I was a little concerned about the way that it was moving. And then the next one came down and took out at 30 ticks. Well, I only took mine. I took 2 off at 20 ticks on the way back up. Now, you're going to see this in the room as well. This is where I get taken out around 42 back here. And this is the trade that I did not take. I was up at this point, total of 97 ticks, and I stopped for the day right here. However, in the room, we did talk about the fact that this trade was out there, right? You had this particular trade. It's valid. It was a time frame long. This time frame here is 9:46. If you look here at your trade plan, there is your 9:46 a.m. trade plan long. And this one actually went and worked out all the way to the tune of 110 ticks. So at this point on the day, you went from down 26 ticks to up 127 ticks in that fast. You're up 127 ticks at this point. The next trade that you would have had an opportunity to take gave you an additional 30 ticks. And at this point, you're up 157 ticks. Obviously, you've heard me say this before, and I did it in the room today. I stopped when I was up at 97 ticks. I would highly encourage you to stop here if you were up 157 ticks, and I'll show you why. That is always a good idea when you get ahead to find a place to stop. Next trade here continues on. You take a loser, again, and you take yet another loser. So at this point, you're not feeling very good about the way things are. You're only up 9 ticks. You've given up 148 ticks at that point. That's the bad news. The good news is at the end of the day, you end up salvaging the day and ending up at 97 ticks. I show you this to say that's if you took every single trade according to the trade plan. That's where you would have been. In a separate video, I'm going to go through and show you yesterday's trade plan, and I'm going to show you how, because of my deviations, it actually cost me a winning day on the trade plan from yesterday. But that's the way it goes. We'll talk about that. So let's talk just a little bit about why you would deviate off of the plan. Well, there's a couple of reasons why you would deviate slightly off of the plan, and the main reason is as you write up your trade plan or your game plan for a particular day, you have an idea heading into the market where it should be, and you want to stick as close as you can to that trade plan. But when I put these times together on the chart and where the price action is occurring on this particular day, as an example, I don't know where these market maker levels are going to form up. Okay, these market maker levels don't actually form. So I'm going to turn all of these. These are very powerful levels. Okay, and these are your daily structure levels right here. Well, you'll notice that they don't actually form until after the pit open. Okay, so these are dynamic support and resistance levels, right? In pit open, they don't actually form. Here is the open time for oil right here at 8 a.m. and they don't actually begin to form until after the open. Well, I don't know where this level is going to be in relationship to the time of day that your trade plan tells you. So, for example, at 8:10 a.m., there was a potential move expected long at 8:10 a.m. Well, at 8:15 a.m., we come up and we hit the daily structure signal, which is also in your trade plan, your market maker levels. Here is, let's find it here, support and resistance. Here are your market maker level entries. Sorry, this is a little bit difficult to read. Let me expand that. Here are your market maker level entries, okay? First time touch of the levels in either direction is indicated by the OTG market maker level indicator, okay? So that is a first time touch rule for that particular signal. First time touch short comes right up to it and gets you short at 8:10 off of the 8:10 a.m. long. Well, if you come back and look at the 8:10 a.m. long here, okay, that is right. Let's see, that's 8:33. Right here is 8:10 a.m. We were expecting a move up, right? Well, you actually did get that. You got from 58.68, the open of this bar, the tail, basically 58.68 went up into 58.82. That's 14 ticks on your 1 minute chart. That's a nice little move up, right? That is a nice move up. But you had that level there. I saw it reacting, and so I deviated off the plan instead of letting it ride for the break-even trigger for 10 ticks, etc. So I did deviate off of that plan. I also deviated a little bit earlier or a little bit later in the session here as well. As I showed you, we were here. This is a counter trend break move right here on a signal to the short side. We got in at 68. I noticed all of this hesitation. We were close to the oil report, and so I deviated off the plan. Today, the deviations were very helpful to me. Yesterday, not so much. And again, like I said, in a separate video, I will dissect yesterday's trade plan and the deviations that I took on that trade plan yesterday. All right, so again, just to continue on here now, we had our short was right here today, right? Our short was right here at 58.62. That is going to be the OTG trade of the day. And so without further ado, let me let you watch the OTG trade of the day. And I am in at 62, first target 47. This is your expected time frame short. It lines up with your filters. And I am short here off the bottom of the center point here right now. Stop is 20 ticks to 82 because of the number. It will go to break even at 52. It'll go to break even at 52. First target down there at 47. This is according to your trade plan, and this is the short. And the stop technically should be up here at 89, and I'm not going to go that high. I'm not going to go to 89, although that is technically where the stop should be. Okay, point of control here at 60 now. We've got to fight through the 60 level. This is the bar for the expected short was right there. For the expected time frame short. Technically should be up at 90 on the stop. That's 28 ticks. That's too tall. Let's see if we can get through 61.60 here. There's 59. We get to 52. This stop will go to break even. 55, 54. You got 103 limit orders long at 50 right now. 103 limit orders long at 50. Come on. Get through 53, 52, 51. Okay, stop at break even now. Stops at break even. First target down here, 47. First target, 47. We're looking to get to 57.91 here. You know what? I was going to say bring that. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 off at 10 ticks just to get it done. So I got 2 off at 10 ticks there. Just because I don't like what's going on down there at 50. And you know what? The final target is 57.91. Final target's 57.91. Stop here is break even plus 1 now to 61. 57.91 is the target. 57.91, your final target's down below. Previous session lows at 92. So we're going to go to previous session. We're going to go to 94 as the final target. 94 is the final target. 88 limit orders here at 38. There's 35, 34. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bring the trail stop down to 52. Break even plus 10 on the remaining. Break even plus 10 on the remaining number. We did hit the Asian range low in the ETH session price. 57.91 is the expectation now as your final target. 57.91. Come on, let's go low down there at 10. Let's go ahead and bring this now to 47 on the trail stop. And this is your time frame, right? These were the time frame expected short on your trade plan. Good. Joe, good job, buddy. 91 is your final target. 40 ticks positive here on 2 right now. Let's go ahead and bring this down to 42 on the trail stop. 94 is your final target. 57.99 is settlement. 57.90. Wow, there's 20, 19, 18. Let's go ahead and bring this from 42 to 32 here. Go ahead and bring this from 42. Actually, not 40. It's 42. Sorry, 42 on the trail stop for now. I want to see us close below that ETH price. Point of control from yesterday was 08. Go ahead and bring that down to 37 now on the trail stop. 37 on the trail stop. 90. Let's go ahead and go to 92 on the target. Now, we get to settlement and we bounce. I'm going to tighten this up in a big way if we get to settlement. If we get to settlement, I'm going to tighten this up on a big way. Like I said way early in the session, 59.18 or 57.91 is the target. Now, this may end up taking me out up here. This may end up taking me out, and I truly don't care. At 37, I truly don't care. I do have your support and resistance level beta that I also am working on here. We had one at 16 and we just bounced off of it. Again, that's not, I don't have the confidence yet to act upon those, but that is a level there that showed up. Low on the day is 10, and then I'm thinking we're going to come down to 57.91 is the target. So from our entry there at 62, that would be 70 ticks. On 2, that would be, wait for it, that would be good. Stupid. All right, 91 down there, right? 92 rather is your target. That's 30 ticks from here. Let's see if we could finish it. Let's see if we could finish it. We want to stay below the ETH open price of 32 and the London range low of 34. And so we just hit the market structure signal on your market maker levels down here. You have a daily structure signal down at 07 and the daily structure targets down there at 69. So again, with a So what happened here is there was even though that was a bullish number, it wasn't bullish enough compared to what the API report did yesterday. So all of that anticipation and longs that were gathering up are suddenly unwound here. You've got a time frame long at 946 according to your trade plan here. So at 946 right here, you've got a potential time frame long move, and so we were probably going to pause at 946. Doesn't mean it's going to push up. It's just more that there's a time of move expected there. Go ahead and bring this trail stop back up just one more time, and I'm going to leave it right there at 42. I just want to give this a little bit of space, see if we can make it into 946, and see if this will move at 946. That's the last touch of the stop. It's 20 ticks there on 2. Right? And I may have given back a little bit more than I wanted to, but if you've been in here a while, you know that, and again, we had this discussion on step to step to step. The next step in the chain here is 57.91, right? And so what you want to do is stay in long enough to be able to get down there, but you don't, without giving back so much that it doesn't make sense. So again, the next step in the chain here is that 57.91. That is my anticipation that we will get down to 57.91. Could we get deeper? Absolutely. But my anticipation right now is that we get to 57.91. Now, you are at the ETH session open price here at 31. And on your 5-minute chart, it's 6 to 8 5-minute candles. Here, it could be 30 to 40 1-minute bars that rotate and linger around this level here. That is very possible. So again, you've got a time frame for a projected move at 946. Right now, the probability is to the long side. That's the probability. And so my stop's at 42, right? You have 135 limit order short at 41. We'll see if this keeps us intact here, if we can keep pushing to the downside here. You have 133, 135 limit order short up there at 41. If this takes me out, the proverbial is what it is. I do think we're going to get to 91 eventually. That is the expectation level. It's just like I said, what kind of line will we take to it? Will we take a straight line, or will it be some jagged line that takes us to it? I do believe we'll get there, though. So we'll see. Lots of orders hitting the bid and the offer at 32, 31. I don't really want to be breaking up above this, but stop is 42 right now. Stop is at 42. And there's 40. You have a huge iceberg at 40 right now. A huge iceberg at 40. Let's hope that holds. Huge iceberg and limit order short at 40. Very, very, very. Look at all those orders that have hit the offer at 40 and all the orders that were behind it there at 40. You have a huge iceberg at 40. We'll see if that holds. Massive. Okay, the iceberg at 40 is now gone. Now it's filling back in. Okay, you've had 330, 350 have now hit the offer up there at 40. You've got a huge iceberg at 40. You also have a fairly decent-sized iceberg at 39. This is where the battle's going to be. Problem is, we are so close at 42 that it'll likely pop up and take me out. Even if it's going to come down, it would likely pop up and take me out. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, am I out? No, I'm still in. 38, 37. Come on back down through these levels here. It is at this time frame, not this bar, but the next bar, where you're projecting this thing to get back long again. But it's just a projection of price movement. Not necessarily. Time is less important than direction. Time is more important than direction. Direction is less important than time. Okay? Let's see if we can get down through 37, 36 now. You've got buyers backing out of 37. Good. So you had a ton of orders up there at 40. Let's see if this thing can push back down through it here. Let's see if we found the sweet spot on the stop up there at 42. I believe we did. But time will tell here. Atta baby. Come on. Come on. 29.28. At the end of the next bar is the projected time frame for a movement. That probability to that is to the long side, but it's more about time than it is direction. And it's at the close. It's actually this bar right here. Right now the projection is the long. The projection is to the long side. But like I said, we could linger for 4 or 5 minutes and then go, right? We could linger for 4 or 5 minutes and then go to the other side, but that is the projection. That is the time projection right there, is right in this area. Now I'm looking for a move down to 91. There's 37, 38, 39. We just hit 41. Still in, but probably not for long. That is the bar where we were expecting the long right there. And so maybe that's all you're going to get. Maybe that's all you're going to get. Let's hope so, but if it does continue long, you could put a counter trend long up here at 51. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But that is the time frame where we're projecting the long to start, was right there. So we're hanging on here. I'm still in, but I don't know how much longer I'll be in. Come on back down through 38, 37. Let's go. 102 limit order short up there at 46. And out at 42. Okay, so you saw that we did end up taking 2 off there at the 42 level. The timing, you saw the timing indication there on your trade plan. We put a chart marker on there that showed you that right in that area the market was projecting to get long, and it surely did. We didn't take it at that point. I was up, like I said, I was up about 97 ticks on the day, and actually just ended up being just a little bit more, but we did end the day up. And as we get to that $1,000 100 tick mark on a trading day, I do like to stop, as I don't want to give anything back at that point. So that's where I stopped. If you continued on, that is good. You did see that there was a chance to pick up another 60 or so ticks, but there also was a chance to give a lot of that back at the end as the trading day went on. So again, it's always good to have a place to stop, and for us, I like to stop when I'm at or above about 100 ticks on a particular day. All right. So again, as always, I want to say thank you for spending time watching the trading videos here at the Oil Trading Group. And until tomorrow, I want to wish you good luck and good trading.